everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Kaley Gray. Happy New Year. I'm so excited to have my friend Trey Peterson here with me. And he is a financial professional, and he has been in this industry for 10 years. And then him and then my other friend Yelise, they actually started their own company over 4 years ago, right?
Yeah, a little over 4.5 years ago.
And so they're just amazing, good quality guys. They have beautiful families. Trey, he's married,
Thank
his
you.
wife. It's been so fun because Trey and Yelise were my friends. And then I've gotten to know their wives and their kids now. And so it's just so special. Trey's in Minnesota. I'm currently in Iowa filming, so we're a little closer than Oklahoma, but we met in Oklahoma. And so I am just so excited, Trey, to have you on the vlog and just share, because we kind of talked about this like off camera, but just how so many people start the new year wanting to have resolutions and goals and stuff, and they want to be financially free, especially like as a single. That's something that I look for when I'm like, looking for somebody else. I want to be financially stable, and I want them to be financially stable, especially the older I'm getting. But a lot of times people don't know what to do. And so you're somebody I always think of that, is smart with their finances. I know you like the quote, work hard, play hard. And so I just share your wisdom with us if you can today.
Yeah, first of all, Kaley, thanks for having me on. You're one of my favorite people. And anybody that's diligent and consistent in what they do, I'm a fan of. And I always tell Steph, you're one of the kindest and most generous people we know. So thankful to be your friend.
Thank you.
Yeah, in my opinion, so I've been in the financial world for a decade, which is hard to believe now.
We're not
but when
that
I
old.
think of 10 years out of ORU, and so thankful for all that God's done. But one of the big things that I really believe is that if you and I, and especially as a single person, but then when you go to get married, if you can win with money, everything else in life is easier. So when my wife and I got married, I had already been in the business for a couple of years, and we had a 10-day honeymoon in Mexico. And I said to her, hey, we're going to have 10 days of fun. But on one of those days, I want 4 hours for us to build a financial plan or the structure of it for our future. Wow. Which I'm sure to her sounded really boring and not exciting, or something that you do on a honeymoon.
Yeah.
But it was really important to me. So I think, number one is I think just making a plan, not just going at life in chaos, but just having some sort of structure of who's going to handle the budgeting, who's going to handle the investing. And typically one person handles the budgeting and one person handles the investing, and you just follow your strengths. Typically, I would say that women on average are better at budgeting because a lot of times women tend to be more detailed. Okay. And so I would say, whoever has a strength in detail and maybe has even done better in finance, that should be the person that is the CFO of your home. So number one, kind of decide who that CFO is.
I like it.
Okay. Number two, I think it's really important. I was just talking to a friend about this who got married a little bit later in life. And it is different when you're young and you start out and you both have nothing, but maybe one of you or both of you has built some assets and you've got some savings, and it does feel different to combine things at that time. And one of the things that I've found, and I think many others have too, is when you get married, I know there are things that I thought, man, I can't believe that Steph spends that much money on this thing. And I know that there were probably more things that she thought, man, I can't believe my husband spends this much on vehicles or this much on dogs. And as we know, everybody has a thing. Mm-hmm. So I think setting up your own budget of fun money that I don't ask Steph what she spends that money on. She doesn't ask me. And then we have a joint checking savings and how we pay bills.
Okay, that's really smart.
So that's number two. To give an example, when we were on that honeymoon in Mexico, we spent 4 hours kind of putting together the outline. Every quarter, I should say, every 3 months, we kind of have a financial meeting to see how investing is going, spending is going, where the money's going, as we call it. But on our honeymoon, Steph said, I have one big financial goal. And I was like, awesome, what is it? And she said, on our 5-year wedding anniversary, I want to go to Hawaii. So I said, perfect. So what was really neat about that is it was really our first goal together. And I think for me, when Steph and I got engaged, one of like the coolest moments was shifting from chasing dreams and goals in life by myself to doing it with somebody that I love.
Oh, that's so awesome.
And so we spent 5 years saving for, planning for this amazing vacation to Hawaii. We ended up going in January, and it was really neat because we got more satisfaction because it was out of a 5-year plan out of that trip than I think we ever could have. So one is, decide who the CFO is. 2, set up some goals together. And then 3, I think that if you can win with money, marriage and everything else in life is just easier.
And I really like how you said you have these like meetings, these quarterly meetings and stuff like that, like the communication, because I feel like that's a lot of times where people maybe fail with finances is they don't communicate it. And was that hard to like start communicating about finances, or like, does that ever start fights? I mean, you don't have to go into too much detail, but.
Yeah, I would say it was really challenging. I actually made a Facebook post the day that I added Steph onto my checking and savings. And I was like, this is when marriage got real. Okay. So it is unique, but I would say, as long as you have great communication, you're going to find, like right when we got married, I thought it was a great idea to spend, $2,000 on a quality dog breed. And for Steph, she's like, $2,000 on a dog. So what's funny about that is, you're just going to find that you have things that your spouse thinks are crazy. Mm-hmm. She has things or he has things that are crazy. And that's why deciding, hey, we have this amount of money that we each get to spend per week or per month. We don't ask each other about that amount. It's a responsible amount. And I think it just makes things easier. But if you can win with your money, everything else in life is easier. And a good rule of thumb is the first 10% goes to the Lord. We believe in tithing. Yes. The second 10% is saving and investing, whether it's in the stock market, real estate, or your business. We're big in our business. We're big in real estate. And then, of course, invest for retirement in the market. So 10% to the church, 10% would go towards investing, and then live off 80. And then as you make more money, as you get older, the beginning days are the hardest part. Then those percentages can grow on what you give and what you invest.
That's awesome. I love that. This is like just such great insight. I feel like just for anybody that maybe didn't grow up, I'm thankful my dad was really like smart with our finances and taught me how to be wise with my finances. And I always got made fun of, like, we would get pennies at this restaurant and we could throw the pennies in the pond. I would pocket them. Like it would only be like 10 cents, but I would keep those pennies because I was like, I'm not going to waste this money. And so, and just even just having like little side businesses and things like that and just saving money. And when I was in college, I was able to buy my first vehicle in cash. Wow. And so that's a lot of times unheard of. And it's not just, me, but I literally saved my money, over the years and stuff. So that's why I always joke around. I always give money as presents to my friends' kids and be like, here, this is for their college or, and stuff, because that's what my parents had done for me. They had saved me like a savings account when I was a kid. And then I was able, like at a young age, learn what that meant. And so what do you think about for somebody who's like never had anybody that kind of helped them financially of like how to save and things like that? Like you did say, say do 10% here, 10% here. Like do you have any like good tips of like helping somebody like practice saving?
Yeah. So there's a good saying. It says that you and I are the average of the 5 people that we spend the most time with. And one of my other favorite quotes is, there's only 2 things that'll decide where we go. It's the books that we read and the people that we hang out with. So one of the things that I'd recommend to anybody looking to improve their financial situation is start off with a good Dave Ramsey book. Dave Ramsey does a great job of teaching the envelope system. What that means is you actually pay for things with cash as much as you can, which is weird in a day where we use a debit card for everything. Yeah. But it's harder to spend money when you're handing it over than it is to swipe that debit card. Yeah. So I don't think that you have to do that forever. We don't do that anymore, but we started that way and it was really helpful in getting things started off right. So I would recommend getting started with a Dave Ramsey class. One of the things that's nice about that is you're surrounded in a room of people that also probably didn't come back from a background of money and of winning. And you get to learn from people. Typically the people teaching the class are people that have walked through all of Dave Ramsey's steps and they're living successfully in their finances. So one is, I would say, take a Dave Ramsey course. Once you have your debt under control, your debt paid off. I'm a big fan of Robert Kiyosaki. I believe investing in real estate, investing in the market. And I would recommend to everybody that you start off with 2 books. One would be a Dave Ramsey book on money makeover is what it's called. And then the second book, just to teach you about investing and actually accumulating wealth, is called Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. And it'll help you see money differently and your life will forever be changed. So those are the 2 books that I recommend.
That's so awesome. Wow. I love this, Trey. This has been so great. I just appreciate you taking your time to just share your wisdom just with my viewers. Is there anything, any like last little tip or anything, relationship advice that you want to give?
My sister just started dating someone, my younger sister. And I said, find out quickly, is he a saver? Is he good with money? Because one of the things you're going to find in life is people, their habits determine where they go. So if you're someone that hasn't had good financial habits and you're single or you're married, do whatever it takes to grow in this area, because 7 out of 10 divorces are because of a lack of finances or stress in finances. So that's why I say, if you can win with money, everything else in life is easier. Don't get discouraged. If you've been challenged in the past, you've screwed up your credit, in 12 to 24 months, you can turn your whole picture around. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'd be happy to give free information to anybody that wants to grow in this area.
Thank you, Trey. That's so good. And I'll put all of your info below. Even just following you on social media, you're always like such an encourager. You always like post amazing things. And I'm like, man, I just like want to hang out with Trey and Steph all the time. They just, yeah, so great. So, well, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Kaley.
You're the first guest of 2022. I figured this would be the topic that we should start our year off with. So I appreciate it. And thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed this vlog as much as I did. Be sure to subscribe and hit that red button below, and I will see you next week.